Hello YouTube, this is Thompson Airways 737 bringing you another update for the new upcoming airport. As you can probably see, not a lot of progress has been made with the actual airport itself, but I just want to do sort of kind of keep you guys updated, do sort of regular videos every now and then just to keep you posted, like what's happening and stuff like that. At the minute I'm not entirely sure when it's going to be sort of done. It really is going to be sort of steady progress with this airport because I've got other things to do besides working on this as well. But I'm just going to run through some of the main features. Quite a bit of stuff all over the place at the minute with boxes and everything and models. But I'm just going to run through what you can expect. So we're going to start off on the left hand side where the cargo apron will be, and like the main cargo centre, and then work our way around kind of thing. So the grey area you see here, this sort of rectangular section, that will be the main cargo apron. So we've got a total of 3 wide body stands. So when I say wide body, you're talking maybe up to like 747, 747-400, 747-8F size. There's potential for Antonovs to park on there as well. And then in between all them, we have 6 up to 6 narrow body size aircraft stands, so up to 757. Initially, I was a little bit unsure whether to go with 757 or up to 767. It actually works better with up to 757 for the narrow body because in between, the 767s can park on the wide body stands, which obviously 767s are wide body anyway. But it's about trying to work out what's best and utilising the space and trying to work out how many aircraft are going to fit on roughly. At the minute, some schedules operate throughout the day. There's quite a few sort of wide body aircraft that are operating throughout the day. Based on the schedules, and then some of the narrow body aircraft are operating at night. Now this is kind of mostly at midnight. Obviously doing video updates, it's going to be a little bit sort of hard to do that because I'm not going to be adding night lighting or anything. But in terms of photos, I've been thinking about I've got like a little torch, sort of LED torch, which is like a white light, and I'm thinking if I kind of shine that slightly on the models, it might give off quite a nice sort of night lighting effect. Again, I haven't tried it yet, and I will be trialing it out just to see how it goes. And again, in terms of videos, I'm not quite sure how that's going to work if I did do it in a video. I would have to sort of try it out. If I did, it'd have to be simply sort of maybe like a split video, or maybe include the pictures in the video. Again, it needs to be trialed out first, and I'm not entirely sure how it's going to go and everything like that. So that's that. That gives you a bit of an idea of how many aircraft you can expect. Maybe if it's extremely busy, it's very rare you're going to see probably a full apron, to be quite honest, but it gives you an idea of how many aircraft you could probably fit on at one time. The runway, I've kind of started doing the threshold markings, the piano keys. I need to obviously work on the rest of the runway as well. Now the entrance to this runway, as you can probably see, it's a bit of an angle. I got inspiration from the Miniature Wonderland Airport in Hamburg, or otherwise known as Nuffingen Airport. You can probably see a bit of a similarity there with the way the entrance is, slightly sort of diagonal. And obviously their airport does lead to the main cargo apron as well. So that's kind of like a bit of an idea I got there. And then moving on here, it skews like everything in the way. But we have like a general runway exit or entrance. Probably more an exit than an entrance, to be fair. Probably going to be used by most wide body aircraft eventually when they vacate. Just a standard sort of perpendicular and parallel sort of exit and entrance. The rest, obviously, in between will be grass sections either side. Then, obviously, we've got the main section here. This is going to be the main apron. So, just to give you guys a bit of an idea, if I just move some stuff around, because I've now sort of drawn most of the markings out, most of the basic markings. So, you'll see this triangular section here. Hopefully, you can make that out. You've got the main taxiway along here. And then coming down this taxiway, and then another taxiway here. This main taxiway will lead to this wide body stand, and then we've got 3 other wide body stands covering this section here. Now, the idea was to have 4 A380 size stands. That hasn't gone to plan, so that's something that has changed. So instead, these will be sort of pretty much be any other wide body aircraft. The only A380 stand we will have is this one, which I kind of like. It's a bit like at Manchester, the standalone stand 12 they have. Various airlines will probably use this though. I may also have other aircraft taxiing past. At the minute, I do only have one A380 scheduled in, which will be Emirates. So I need to look into Qantas and Singapore. They're the other 2 A380s I have in my collection. But ideally, to do that, I kind of want to have a bit of a rotation. So rather than have the same one in every single day, I kind of want a rotation like I've done with other models, where like one comes in like Monday, then another registration on Tuesday, and then Monday comes in on Wednesday, and so on. So everything like that. So that's going to be that. Now, obviously, you can see I've been sort of fiddling around with the airbridges a little bit. I actually ordered some of the new JC Wings narrow body airbridges, and I must say these are by far the best airbridges I really have ever come across. And I haven't really tweaked with them. So everything moves, everything you can think of moves. Height, they extend on both parts. So obviously the main actual airbridge itself actually extends outwards and obviously back in. And then this bit as well, you can actually extend this coming out as well, which is like unbelievable really. It's rather decent. This is how it comes, so it comes in like 2 sections and everything like that. So obviously that bit will hook onto there, and then you've got a little section there, and then you can actually change the types of actual I'm not sure what you call them on the airbridge, to be honest, but the parts that actually sort of lean onto the aircraft, you've got different shapes and styles, so that's pretty decent, to be fair. The only downside with these are going to be limited to wide body only. Now, you might be thinking, well, why have I got the singular ones rather than wide body? Again, it was a bit of a trial. I've ordered another set of these narrow body versions, and basically they're going to be utilised only for narrow body because the length of them are kind of too long. That's the only downside for me. That's a personal thing. It's not a... It might not be the same for you guys if you bought them, but the length of these, that's what it is. The actual airbridge itself is fine. Obviously, it's all in scale, but it'd be nice if this was just a little bit shorter for me personally. But they're only going to be used on the 4 main wide body stands we've got here. Then for the narrow body, we're going to be using the old, the most recent 1500 airbridges from Herpa. They work quite well. You might be thinking, well, it's going to be a little bit weird having like new airbridges and these old, but airports have that. Airports have like a new and old sort of generation style, so that's what I'm going to go with for that. It may change in the future, we'll see. But before I actually progress anywhere with anything, I've got to construct the terminal. Now, the only thing that I've received so far, and here we've got some clear sort of plastic, I say plastic, it's more like a transparent sheet sort of thing, if you like. I'm not really sure what to call it, to be fair. And then in this box I've got some evergreen plastic strips, which are going to help strengthen the actual structure of the terminal as well. So basically just like square tubes basically. And I thought I'd buy them because I thought, you know what, they'll strengthen the structure quite well. Still waiting for the actual sheets to start the actual terminal. Obviously, I'll let you know when that progresses and everything like that. Now, in terms of narrow body stands, so we've covered the air bridges. They're going to be utilised. We're going to be using the 1500 version for the narrow body because they do work quite well. You might be asking actually why these aren't being used for wide body as well. The only reason is they raise and they're kind of high up, and it does look a bit weird, to be quite honest. So that's why I've gone for that. Another thing I've added, like these interstand clearways, which I think is a nice feature. I don't normally do this. Normally, most of my airports have been like, you know, sort of blank and stuff like that, but really nice feature. And as you can tell by this, if we park, well, put the air bridges sort of just to the side, the interstand clearways free up to the head of stand road system. So that's quite nice. And then kind of one last thing I just want to cover are these stands here. You can see I've got these sort of like loop systems. These are going to be used for like small aircraft. Mostly Saab 340s. They're going to be the most common aircraft to use these. You might be thinking, obviously, if it parks there, wingspan's going to clash, but they will, obviously, if an aircraft does park like that, they will tweak the actual system of the ramp and stuff like that. So we've got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 narrow body stands on this main section as well. So that is utilising it quite well, and actually more than I actually thought, to be quite honest, that were going to be featured. Stuff like that. So most of the plans are drawn out. Again, the next stage will be to construct the terminal building.